Welcome back to Embrace Grace podcast. This is the official starting of our podcast.
We're just here today. We want to just bring somebody special who's usually behind the scenes, but if it wouldn't have been for him, this wouldn't have been possible. And yeah, I mean, let's get started. Let's dive right in. You know, you people have been waiting so long, so we want to just show y'all our special guest today.
Y'all welcome.
Yo. Appreciate y'all.
I can't wait to see what song he's going to play.
Turn the TV off. Yeah, right. Some Kendrick Lamar.
Drake.
No, not just kidding. No, I appreciate y'all having me on, especially, you know, it being one of y'all's first episodes. It's pretty dope.
Thank you.
Well, this wouldn't be possible without you. This would not be possible without you.
Overall, though, you know, to where I want to be, like, you know, whatever visions I got, whatever, you know, goals I have, this wouldn't be possible without y'all. Because y'all are the only ones, like, you know what I mean? Because I've had podcasts, you know, people do their episodes and stuff, but, you know, the fire that y'all bring to it, it's like, yo, you know what I mean? These girls are ready. They want to do it. You know what I mean? We all need that little push. I needed that push too, so you know what I mean? It's dope.
And as you say, you know, these girls are ready. It wasn't like that we were ready in the very moment. It was like God's timing was perfect because we tried to start it in October and it didn't happen. Here we are in February.
Right.
And we're barely beginning, and that's okay. It just goes back to like God's timing is perfect.
Yes, man. That's definitely true. The whole putting in God's hands and everything like that, like I'm starting to understand that now. You know what I mean? Whenever people would say that back in the day, I never really understood it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I knew God was real the whole time, and I just always try to handle things on my own. But now I'm like, you know, I put it in His hands. I know He got me, so I'm like, yeah, He got
and
you,
bro.
bro.
Don't worry about things.
Yeah, don't even worry about
God
it.
God gives you the peace that He needs to give you with anything that you do. You just.
You want to come closer? Do you guys see her that she is coming off? Like it's.
Let's go a little bit closer to you.
That's better.
Tell us, Fav, what is your heart behind doing all of this that you do? What made you want to start this?
Well, when I first started, like I always imagined I kind of imagined being on a podcast, and I wanted to talk, but low key, I didn't have the confidence to do it all the way. Like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know if people would even listen to me. You know what I mean? I'm just a random dude. And now what I'm figuring out what my calling is to like help people. Because I know a lot of stuff when it comes to cameras. I know, but you know, I've been in the social media world forever just because all my work is camera work. You know what I mean? So now I'm just like, what kind of keeps me going is just like being able just to give people that push too. You know what I mean? Like I got the equipment. I got this. I got that. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like I could see that y'all got the fire. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't the only ones that will have the fire. You know what I mean? But y'all are starting the fire. So when people catch that fire, like, oh, you know what? I want to do it too. You know what I mean? I always wanted to do it. I just didn't know where to start. Well, cool. They didn't know how either. You know what I mean? But we made it happen. You feel me?
God made it happen.
Yeah, God made it happen. Yeah, He brought us all together. Boom. Now we're here.
Yeah, that's good.
And it may even feel scary. I think for all of us, it feels scary to begin something that we've never done before. It's new. We know it. We see the vision. We know that there's something greater on the other side of fear. But it's not until we take the leap to try it out that we'll get to see what's going to come out on the other side. And I can't wait to see what that's going to look like. Because this is really just the beginning.
Literally.
And it starts with just being okay with being comfortable with being uncomfortable too.
Right.
And you'll never know if you never try.
Exactly. Honestly. And if you don't try, you're going to go on living life like, damn, I never know. Yeah, like I never knew. You know what I mean? Now, there's this one verse on a song. What did he say? I think Jake So you regret it more if you let someone kill your dreams. You know what I mean? Rather than you actually failing at it. But at least you know you did it. You know? But if you let yourself, well, not just someone, but if you let yourself kill your dreams and you always wonder, what if, 10 years, 15 years goes by and you're still thinking about that one thing, what if type stuff. And you kept yourself stuck in a cycle. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's where it comes into like where you have to, dude, you gotta, like, that's why you have those thoughts. That's why you have that, you know, I need to do this. I have that, I'm thinking about it, so I need to do it now. You know what I mean?
So as you're saying that, tell us what made you even want to start. Like, what made you even want to get into the camera world? Like, what even started? What was your heart behind that?
Man, well, I first started off, I was in a network marketing company. And we took trips. And when we took a trip to New York, and they had, they had other groups. We were a team. We were the team in New Mexico. And we were the only team in New Mexico. So all these other cities, big cities, you know, we came from a small town. Well, we seen them up in New York, and I seen people having cameras, and, you know, I just wondered what they were. And then some of our leaders, they were from New York, and they're like, well, they have, you know, they make just highlight videos of the trip, make it look fun, and it brings people in on board. Oh, okay, dope. And then a week or two went by, and then I was able to see, like, the results, and I was like, damn, that's hard. That's really dope. You know what I mean? So I liked it. Picked up a camera, started making a few videos, you know, with my team and stuff, and then kind of just went on from there. You know, started doing music videos, quinces, weddings. One thing for sure for everybody, what you try to avoid the most is really the one thing that you need to get. Because I used to try to avoid weddings. I used to try to avoid quinces. I was like pretty much antisocial. I didn't want like to be around a lot of people. But and I was having that heart like, nah, I don't want to do it. Finally did it, and that's what brought in the money. You know what I mean? So it's just that little fear thing too. You know what I mean? Like we kind of build ourselves on fear.
I laugh a little because truly that's how it starts. This feels like that too. This feels like a little bit of fear.
Yeah.
And we're not saying like money is going to come from this or whatever. I feel like just even being able to just put a seed in somebody's life. Mm-hmm. But the fear that you may have felt in that moment is probably how we felt when we started what we're doing as well. And it's been what has like grown the most as well. Right. So I feel like right now I still feel the little fear of like being on a camera, but like what fruit is it going to produce us? Like we're being okay with being on a camera, you know, like, so it is that same way.
Yeah, honestly though, yeah, it's just like breaking out of your shell. You know what I mean? We shed the skin. We shed the skin of what it is, and the more that we go, we can't bring those old habits. We can't bring that same skin. We can't bring that same thought process. So that's why it's good to develop, evolve, you know, build a better relationship with yourself, better relationship with God, people around you. You know what I mean? And you just kind of see what fruits are there for you, and then what kind of rotten fruits aren't supposed to be there for you. Yeah. You know? So like the more you know yourself, the better it is.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we have to kind of like get out of our comfort zone a little bit, you know. We're just like you said, in a shell, and it's not good with being comfortable. Like it's good with being uncomfortable, you know, like getting out and doing different things, like whether, no matter how it looks like just doing it. If God puts that in your heart, it's for a reason. And so yeah, we've been wanting to start this since October. And so, but it's not on our time, it's on God's time. And so everything literally just, the pieces just started adding up, and now it's starting to look like a complete picture. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited.
Who would have thought that, you know what I mean? We're right here, color coordinated in this room. That was never a thought before, you know what I mean? But that's what developed. Yes. So it's dope. So who knows what else, you know? Shoot, it could be happening in 3 months. We're in a big studio, and Brace Grace logoed out. Hey. You know what I mean? Just crazy stuff going on, like for real. You know what I mean?
There's water in here, by the way. I'll get the vase from the flowers and like juice. Perfect. We're back.
Our fault, y'all.
We're back,
y'all. So today we're actually in Fob's place, and as we're getting to get familiar what it looks like to have a podcast, I feel like it was a perfect timing to be at your place so you could show us what it's going to look like for the future. Because it's all part of learning and growing. Like, we're still growing a lot. I kind of started to feel bad that I don't have it all together. I was like, man, I thought we had the place and then we don't. But it's like it all worked out for its good. Like, we're here right now.
Right.
We're able to see what your space looks like, and thank you for having us. So that we have the idea. So when we go back to our place for the next episode, we'll have a better understanding of what that's gonna look like.
Right. No, I appreciate y'all even coming through, because we did have a set idea for it, so overall, I appreciate y'all.
No, thank you. Yeah. Opening up your place to us, that means a lot. And I also, like, Clarissa was starting to get overwhelmed, but I was like, you know what? Like, it's for a reason. Like, this will help us see the bigger picture, on what we need and what space we need. So maybe, like, from today, the scenery will change a little bit, like in the background, but it's just because we're trying to get comfortable, situated, and trying to figure everything out. So you guys bear with us.
But I think it's all part of that learning process. Like, this is how we're going to grow. We're going to be able to know what it looks like to have a podcast as we're setting up, as we're going and sharing with them it's not going to look always perfect, and that's okay.
And generally speaking, I feel like that's part of change too. Like, things come your way, so you can handle it differently. Things you gotta know how to get past those setbacks. The things that are setting us back from our podcast. We gotta overcome that. We gotta come back stronger, and that's part of change, and we're gonna get through that.
Yes, I've always said, like, setbacks are always made for a greater comeback, always. And so even though today felt like a little bit of a setback, here's the comeback. But the next episode, we'll have the space. We'll know what it's going to look like. We might bring in the new couches. Like, I'm excited because this is really only the beginning. And so even before, I don't know if y'all seen me post, like, I felt God telling me, because I was feeling overwhelmed. I'm like, man, like, I'm letting them down. I didn't even have the space available. And I just felt God say, like, don't despise the small beginnings. And this is part of that.
Yep.
Yeah. We all start somewhere. Everything starts somewhere.
Yeah. We had to see it. We had to see.
That's something they said at Free Indeed. They were like, the enemy will do anything he can do to distract you from what you really need to get done. So honestly, I definitely think that was for even the last episode, like, it was just, but we didn't let the enemy win. Like, it's by God's.
Yeah.
And I feel like God has deposited something big in each and every one of y'all. Y'all all bring something amazing. Not only is it the cameras, but the angles, what it's like to connect everything together. Like, Nayeli and her, she knows how to decorate. Yeah. She has it in her.
Like, got the whole setup
right.
We pulled up for the candle, like the little things. You truly are talented. Y'all are all talented. Carmen, you are the hype girl. You are the one that I feel like you really can bring people together. And I love that.
Energy. She's like, yo, what's up?
Yellow.
Yeah, you do bring a really good energy. So that's dope. Yeah, I feel like everybody does. Hey, especially on y'all's team. Y'all complement each other very well. So, so it's a puzzle piece just to make a really great picture. So.
You make bearskin baddies.
Bearskin baddies. Today I'm a bearskin baddie.
Baddie of the day. I'm just kidding. So yeah, going from here, do you feel like you have anything else you want to share with us? We're all open ears.
At the moment, not so much.
I feel like he should tell us his story. Like I feel like you've been through so much, and the enemy has tried so hard to bring you down, Fab, but you're still here standing so strong with the vision even bigger and greater.
That's true. I now that I'm on the other side of things, I can see what has been holding me back. I can see what's been blocking me. Blocking me to where I really am supposed to be. And whenever you do that, whenever you get yourself out of the dark hole, man, you have to forgive yourself. You don't know no better. You got to be kind to yourself, because if you're too hard on yourself, you're gonna beat yourself up. And it's like, it's like treating yourself. I think we've talked about this before. It's treating yourself like an older and a younger sibling.
Yes.
Older sibling, you got to check yourself, make sure you're doing good. Younger sibling, you got to show some compassion to yourself. It's okay. You didn't know better. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at.
What did that look like? as you're saying, like you had to be like the big brother to yourself now. Like, what did that look like? Because we want to know.
Yeah, well, I think it's like whenever you make certain decisions, you know. So telling yourself you knew better than that. You knew what was gonna happen. You knew that was a possible outcome, and out of all the outcomes that could have happened, you knew that one had the higher percentage. You know what I mean? So why did you do it? Then you talk with yourself. Okay, I get it. I did this. I was just trying to test it out. And then we could fool ourselves too. Well, I was just trying to, you know what I mean? Because we could lie to other people and say that, oh, well, I really didn't know. I didn't do this. I didn't know that. But deep down inside, we knew what's up. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's when you gotta, that's when it comes to checking yourself. Like, you knew that was going to be an outcome. You know what I mean? So, like, me, for example, and I'm not knocking marijuana, because marijuana has a lot of benefits. Yeah, they have a lot of benefits for people. You know what I mean? Even me, I got sick one time, and marijuana helped me eat because I couldn't eat nothing no more. I had to eat mashed potatoes. That was it. That's the only thing my stomach could handle. So marijuana is what actually helped me eat. But I did it too much. You know what I mean? I let it take over my life, and that's all I did was just want to smoke like all day. You know what I mean? So it'll keep me chilled out and stuff, and it helped the mood and stuff, you know what I mean? But I used it as a gateway to get away from stuff, you know what I mean? So even nowadays going on, I feel like I do want to smoke, but I have to remember there's certain opportunities that, like, you know what? Nah, not yet.
Right.
Not yet. I'm not in a position that where I can enjoy something I want to do. Because right now I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like at that time I did need it. Right now I don't need it, you know? So that's when you're checking yourself too. Like, you know what I mean? That's why you got to smack yourself in the back of the head, bro. Honestly.
Get it together.
Yep.
Because it can consume us. Like, we could start off as something like, oh, yeah, I need this. Just, for me, it was alcohol for the longest. I'd have a stressful day, and it was like, oh, I'll just go have a few drinks to feel chill. And then it was like one day, and then, oh, just the weekend. Before you know it, I was doing it every day.
Yeah.
And then it became like a lifestyle. You would have never imagined, but that really was my life. I felt like I was a better person with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like, yeah, alcohol, I mean, keeping us in a chokehold sometimes. You know what I mean?
That's how I felt at one point.
I can feel you on that.
Yeah.
It's a very vulnerable thing to share, but that's what it was looking like for a long time.
Yeah.
And I'll share that eventually, but more. But that it did look like that. It's.
When did you realize that? I guess that was a problem.
When I had to go to work and I'd leave the bar just to make it back to my appointments, and I was there waxing under the influence, and that wasn't even myself. I couldn't even be me for my clients.
That's deep.
And that's where I was like, what is really going on here?
This is a problem.
Like, I prayed so much to be here. Like, this is what I prayed for so much. And I received the blessing, and because I felt like I didn't know how to handle it, and I was so stressed and overwhelmed that I wanted to take care of everybody, I would drink to help me. And it caused me to always want to be drunk. And I would just pretend like everything was okay in the room.
Yeah.
And like, I wasn't even there. I was there physically, but mentally,
That's deep.
Good.
it was bad.
That's crazy that y'all said one of each. Because, like, for me, it was me consuming both. Like, being crossfaded at one point.
Wow.
And for me, it was partying all the time. Obviously doing both as well. But I was partying a lot. I wasn't even going home. I was literally out every day, all day.
Damn.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Them benders that you would hit.
Them benders, they were crazy.
But it's like
I
at that moment, we don't even realize it because we get so familiar with it. We get so comfortable with it. We let it be part of our life.
We make it a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
Yeah. Like, for me, it was like, okay, like 2 days is fine. I was like, oh, 2 weeks. And then 2 months. 2 years. Like, 20 years. No,
And then you get comfortable on saying, like, oh, it's just temporary. I'm just doing it temporarily.
Yeah.
That was my favorite saying. I'm just doing it temporarily, which I knew I was only gonna do it temporarily, but
How
when
long
was I
exactly?
gonna?
is
When was I
temporary?
gonna stop?
Before you know it, 15 years could have went by like temporarily.
And by doing that, you're just like holding off on your blessings.
That's true.
You know, you keep on doing it, but God is like, hey, like I have something better for you. Can you just stop?
That's true.
Get it together.
It's like the biggest blessing is unanswered prayers. But what we don't have is because we don't ask.
That's deep too. There's this one thing that sits with me, and I forgot who said it. I don't know if it was with you guys or I had a conversation with another friend, but he said that when we're living in sin, everything seems fun and enjoyable, and maybe not many things are gonna attack us. You know what I mean? But that's because the devil wants us right there. You know what I mean? So we're gonna just keep doing what we're doing. But whenever we're trying to change ourselves and live through blessings and live through God, that's whenever we are gonna be tested. And then we realize what the enemy is. Like, damn, all right, I got an eye on you now. Now, you know what I mean? Now I gotta push you to the side a little bit because that ain't for me no more. That this ain't for me, or what it could have led to. What this, you know what I mean? Like, just an enemy spot. You know what I mean?
And that's the Holy Spirit, like talking in you. You know,
Yeah.
He's letting you know, hey, that's not good for you. When before, when you didn't know, you just did it.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's whenever we just told ourselves, hey, temporarily, this is just something we're doing. Hey, you know what I mean? I'm cool.
Where would you like to see this podcast go? Not just with Embrace Grace, but other podcasts that you'll be bringing in with CY.
The overall goal was to have an entertainment channel. So every podcast that is on, I would love to see them go far. But that is to the people who get on. You know what I mean? Just like this one, it's up to you guys how far y'all want to take this. It's up to you guys how big the vision y'all can come together as a group and see it. You know? So in my mind, I see everybody just living good. I see everybody just jumping on the podcast because this is what the era is now. People, there's cameras, there's podcasts, people want to hear. But the thing is, like the last few years, people have been on the podcast, but people put on a lot of personas. Nowadays, people want to see realness. They want to see raw. They want to see
Authentic you.
yeah, the authentic stuff, what you got to deliver. You know what I mean? Because everybody's been living behind a mask for so long. You know, it's easy to spot it now. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, this person's not even being genuine. You know, so that's where I would like to see is like just people just to keep it real. Anybody who is on, I want to see them create a revenue. You know what I mean, for themselves off of the podcasting. You know what I mean? They grew a fan base. They got their merch going. They got just people recognizing them. Let's say y'all kept this going, and about half a year it just started blowing up, and then y'all got invited out to New York to be on this certain podcast because they were inspired by y'all stuff. I want to see that. You know what I mean? That's dope. And even if y'all were start up y'all's own with a bigger podcasting company, that's dope because it started here at CY. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try not to be selfish, you know, because this is just a starting point. If there are greater opportunities out there, take it. You know what I mean? I want to see y'all do good, but just, you know, just give me y'all's fire and y'all's dedication to get us to that point. Because if y'all are getting to that point and somebody did notice y'all, then I mean, CY is doing the thing. You know what I mean? It's doing what it's supposed to. You know, so I just want to see everybody just living good. You know what I mean? Just flourishing. That's it. And it could be about anything. Like there's this one dude. He came to me about ghost hunting. He wanted to go ghost hunting and go search abandoned buildings and have like little monitors and stuff. And dude, like you see those on TV, but not a lot of people do that here in town. You know what I mean? Yeah, some, you know, but that's dope and that's different entertainment. So the thing with CY is I want to show entertainment, have a network channel. Like you had what is it, Adult Swim, you had BET, you had USA, you had CBS. Those are all networks. So CY will be a network. You know what I mean? Providing different types of content, different types of shows, episodes, movies, stuff like that. You know, me and my boy Greg would talk about that a lot. And then Mariah got in. Well, it was me, Greg, and Mariah. We were all in it. But the overall goal was just to have this as an entertainment. Because we have a lot of plans just stacked up. But we all got normal lives too. So it's just hard to bring a lot of that stuff because we need investments. We need investors. You need people to have your back who believe in the vision of CY, believe in the vision of Embrace Grace, and believe in the vision of what other future episodes are on there. That way, you know what? Yeah, I want to sponsor this. You know what I mean? That could get new equipment. That can get you to a bigger studio. That can, you know what I mean? Just get you going further. You know what I mean? So basically, overall, you need help. You know what I mean? Not you guys specifically, but
Everybody.
we all need help.
Everybody.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Lock arms with people. That's it. Just lock arms and keep it going.
CY is the next MTV.
Yeah, MTV. You know what I mean? I completely. I don't know why I didn't say MTV,
So
but
reality house.
reality shows. Vice, y'all know Vice TV.
Yeah.
Vice TV is crazy. Like I love Vice because they keep it raw and like straight to the point. You know what I mean? They got a lot of documentaries and stuff like that, and they go visit people like in the slums or other countries and stuff, and it's dope. I would love to get to that point.
Because it will.
It will, yeah, it will.
It definitely will.
It will.
I'm amazed. I'm just thinking. You started off with two great people, but, you know, I believe that Greg's legend, like, is going to speak volumes. And it's going to be a story to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like, it's not over. It's not over. There's
Yeah.
so much more to Greg as an individual, but the things that he's going to even, like, I feel like it's even going to speak through Fob. And what Fob is still doing, like, that vision is still going to come to life.
Yeah.
I really know it. I really know it. I really
felt
feel
that.
it.
I felt that, and I appreciate that a lot because he had a different energy to it. You know, he was always about growing love, and I would try to spread that myself too. But how open his heart was to anything and everybody was a lot different. Me seeing him live like that, it let me know how closed off I was. You know, so I learned that from him, how to have an open heart from him. You know, and don't get me wrong, whenever he did pass, I fell into another dark hole. You know what I mean? So I did go back to drinking. I did go back to smoking. And I was smoking constantly every single day. But without realizing it, I was suppressing the feelings. You know what I mean? When something happens, you got to get through it. You got to get through it, feel everything. That way you can get past it. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily past because I still feel it sometimes. You know, I still get, think about it, get a little teary-eyed or whatever because he's not here. But, you know what I mean? Everything I learned from him, I could push it forward. You know, so I do try to still work like he is here and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, let's do this. You know what I mean? And I'll be praying and I'll be asking him. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, like help me out, man. Like, do something with me. You know what I mean? So it's just stuff like that.
I think it goes back to he was somebody who it was an inspiration.
Yeah, he
Kept
was.
that in that he sparked something,
Yeah,
and it's still it's going to come to life. He created something. He put breath into something.
yeah, he did. And this has his name on it, and that was he wanted to do. Like, he just wanted to do great things, and then he put his name in a lot of stuff, but this one he had a stamp on it. This was his, so I'm gonna keep it going. Got to do something with it.
I'm like, we could cut this out, but I
Yeah.
I'm just we grew up. I think I told you we grew up together on the south side, like. And I'm just like thinking of all the like childhood memories. Like, who would have known like something like us being first, second grade, third graders? It would still kind of like to this very moment somehow still be so connected. And I just feel like God is still in those details, the little things.
Yeah, it's a small details, man. It is.
You went to school with him?
He was a year older.
Dang, 5 older.
Dang.
Man, nah,
How old are you, Fun?
I'm 30.
Oh,
Greg was younger than me. I think he was about 26, if I'm not mistaken. 27 when he had passed. So he was younger than me.
we're the same age, 28. Well, I'm
28?
28. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, he probably would have been 28 now. So about 2 years younger than me, maybe. 2 or 3 years. Yeah. But
That's great. I'm just like, wow. Like, I feel like I'm like sitting here, but I'm just thinking of like all of that, and then like right now, and like how y'all like our neighbors, like all of that. Like I think it's just everything has like such a beautiful correlation.
Everything falls into
because like it was on my heart. When Nayeli brought it up to me to start a podcast, I'd be like, no, I don't even like cameras. Like I think that's why we shared that with you. Like as soon as the camera goes on, we go silent.
I said let's start a podcast as a joke.
And then it was like, but that joke kept going. When I'd be like, man, let's just turn the cameras on right now. But we would never. And then she's like, well, I know someone. And I'm like, And it's like until you actually put it to life, until you actually put it to work, until you actually make that vision that's on your heart, that's on your mind, and give it more than anything to God, that He'll just like put it together. Mm-hmm. And I believe that this very moment is that.
Without any effort, too.
It's
It'll just come to place.
Like, I believe that what's for you will always come to you.
That's deep. Yeah, it is. And I had someone tell me that this thing is like a conveyor belt. You know what I mean? It's going to come to you and it's going to keep on passing every now and then. But the more that it keeps on passing to you, it's passing to somebody else too. You know what I mean? So they're just like, we get that idea. It's a conveyor belt.
You got to do it.
Boom.
You know,
boom.
that's actually in the book that you gave me. I started reading it.
Really?
Or that let me borrow, actually. I started reading it, and
nice.
That's what it says.
Good stuff.
Every idea has its way of coming into somebody's life, right?
Right.
So if it's your idea, like, do it. If it comes into your mind, do it. If not, if you don't take it, somebody else is going to do it for you. That idea keeps coming and coming and coming until somebody grabs it and does something with it.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to sit back, damn, I had that idea. You got to watch somebody else do it now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's deep. Good see you, girl. Mm-hmm. Reading the book.
What book is it? Fav tried to blame me for taking one of his books.
Me too.
I was just trying to like, bro, who has this book? I still got to find out who has it.
I'm like,
hey, who has this book?
Yeah,
so was he blaming you for the?
Nah, I was just like, what book do y'all have? I know I lent y'all a book, but which one do y'all have? I know it's not early, but
I think it's the creative way of being an artist.
Is that what it's called?
Like that.
Because I know it has like a circle and a dot, right? Yeah. That one was actually gifted to me by someone. Really? So yeah, they wanted me to read that.
I'll finish it quick and I'll give it to you.
But that's back to that belt that you're talking about. That book is going around to others. And
that's true. Honestly.
So it's like I'm sure that same book itself started with the vision of like, okay, we're talking about this belt, converter belt, or whatever it is, and it's like started with that, but look what it's like. What we're talking about it right now.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm barely in the first few pages, first few chapters.
It's doing something.
Yeah,
it's
that's
for you
hard.
to speak about it.
I love that book. Like I saw it on his bookshelf, and he's like, y'all get a book, and I was like, that one. It just stood out, and it was artistic. And what am I? I'm more artistic. I'm hella artistic. And
shit, that's dope.
You know.
There's one thing that always stayed with me too is that if you're at the library, if you're at the bookstore, Barnes & Noble, whatever, you're at a thrift store and they have a bunch of books, and the cover just looks cool, that means the book's calling you. You know what I mean? Like you don't know, I have so many books in there, but that just means that specific book is calling you for whatever reason. So just get that, and then you know what I mean, read that at a later time.
And you know what's crazy? I tried reading it when you first let me borrow it. And it did not make sense to me.
Nah.
I was reading like the first 2 pages and I'm like, what is this even about? I don't even get it. I don't get the point of it. And I think it was a month later, probably. A month later, you asked me if I had one of your books, I was like, I remember I told you, I was like, I'll read it. I promise. It's not gonna collect dust.
Yeah.
And I started reading
man, you better read it, girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It won't collect dust. I got you.
Yeah, that's
and
dope.
I'm doing it. I'm reading it.
That's dope. Honestly, it's really, really dope. Glad that you believe in it. So
what
do you wanna what?
Sorry, it's because I've been having trouble with like getting like just sitting there and reading. What tips do you have for people who are trying to read? Like, do you need to have like a quiet space? Like, I
would recommend finding your own space. You know what I mean? Because we are all different.
Because for me, my space is my bed. But I'm gonna fall asleep reading.
So then maybe that's not the space that you want to read, because if you're laying in bed, at some point you'll fall asleep while you're reading. So that's not, yes, that's your space to sleep in and to be comfy.
Yeah.
But maybe it means that you got to come to Fob's and sit on his couch if he lets you.
You just took the
Or
words
at
out
the
of my
park.
mouth. I was just gonna say that. I'm like, can just come over and read here.
Yeah,
Get
you can.
your drink that you're just going to drink on and sit on his couch and read.
Yeah, $10. That's it.
And it,
No, I'm just kidding.
I twitch.
Yeah, but honestly, that is deep. I don't know where I heard that from, but that snapped something in my head. But yeah, that's absolutely true. You know what I mean? Because your bed is your sleeping space, so your mind automatically feels. You know what I mean?
Like,
This is my relaxing spot. You know? So since reading is like new in a way, yeah, you know, you probably just have to find like what you like to read in, your vibe.
And also, no distractions. You know, we love to grab our phone and like pulling it out, and then you lose your spot on reading, and then you don't even know what's going on.
Now,
You know,
don't
put
be
that
like,
phone to the side. You know, you can put music on, but no words, because then you'll get distracted with the words.
Low key, yeah,
I like
that's one of my
silent.
problems.
But if you want
Silence.
like if I could sit in a dark room and read, I would do that, but I couldn't see. You know,
little flashlight.
so little.
Like a little light. There's
that's
lights
bad
for
for your
books.
eyes.
Yeah, there
That's
is.
that's really bad for your eyes.
Is it
Yeah.
reading in the dark like that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Why?
because it's like you're focusing too much on like the little bit of light on paper that you have, and everything else is dark.
So probably
It's hard
strain
for
your eyes or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
Like, no wonder my eyesight got really bad after lashing, because I'm like
You're focused.
trying to focus on the little itty bitty hair.
That's true though. That is true. But yeah, I would recommend that. Like sometimes I throw on FKJ, and his name, he goes by Fresh Kiwi Juice, but it's FKJ, and he just makes like a bunch of music, like beats and stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, instead of having words in the background, because I'll throw some J. Cole on and I'm trying to read and I start
And you
bumping the
start
song
singing.
instead. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I see you, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, that does make sense. You know, kind of switch it up a little bit. You know, throw some beats on or something.
Was it on that beat?
Oh, that's another thing too. So for future episodes, for the audience that are watching, I would like to start getting sponsors for it. So like in the middle, whenever we do go on break, whenever we do take a pause, whoever did sponsor, let's say, you know, another salon or somebody who makes a cream or oil field business or something, we'll all sit down in our own off camera right here, and we'll talk about that sponsor, talk about that product. Shout out so and so for sponsoring us. You know, this is their product right here. They sponsored us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of these episodes wouldn't happen without them. So for the audience, keep in mind, we're looking for sponsors.
So what questions do you have for us, Bob?
Let me see. I got a few. So, what inspired you guys to start the Embrace Grace podcast? Like, what was the true inspiration behind it? I know you guys did have talked a little bit about it on the, you know, the introduction episode. But I do want to hear right here, you know, just give me a brief summary of why, like what started it, what inspired it, basically.
Like I said it as a joke. I don't even know what. I think it's just like because we with like when the cameras are off, we give a lot of good advice. Like naturally, all of us are therapists. Like
Exactly.
girls
what I was
come
gonna say.
and get their services done, and we just be like saying the best advice. But sometimes we need to learn how to take our own advice. So that's when I told Clarissa we need to learn how to embrace like the grace in all of this, you know. So that's where that name came from.
And I feel like our jobs in general, like our girls are vulnerable to us, you know what I mean? It's like coming to get your self-care done, but while you're doing your self-care, there's things that you're going through that you're just like, dang, like I really need to talk about it. Or we provide that security with our clients, and you know, they come to us. We're the therapists and they're ours, you know?
Right. Yeah,
And I
that's
feel like
a
the
good
podcast-
one-on-one moment for y'all, huh?
Yeah.
Tight.
And I feel like that made it a little bit easier for us to want to start our podcast, because we know what, if we say something, somebody is going to hear it and it's going to be for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool.
I'm excited to answer this question. So I'm going to take it back a little bit more deeper to like why the word embrace even started. And so I am a volunteer for My Power Girls. And so this is like a big thing. Like this is a big deal for young women, 5th graders here in Hobbs. And I was volunteering for their summer camp. So this was in the summer. And I remember just like you walk in and like people already know you. You don't even have to introduce yourself. And I remember leaving that day and telling God, like, man, sometimes I want to walk in a room and not be known. Like, I just don't want to be known. And I could just hear him speak so clearly to embrace who he has called me to be. And so, you know, I imagine my life to have been a lot different. I had like, you have your own dreams and goals, and it didn't look like that. I thought for me it was very just bare minimum, like be a mother and be a wife one day. And I think for all of us, but it's like, that's not the season that I'm in. I'm in a season
Of growth.
a lot of growth, but what God is depositing in this moment. And the word embrace would not leave. So as I felt in my heart to start Embrace Grace, it's just all correlated. It was like, I heard the word embrace. So embrace who we are in this very moment. But when I told them in October and you had came in, you're like, you need a team. And I was like, oh, okay, well, we got a team. Like, told the girls, and I feel like they didn't even have to think about it. It was like an immediately, let's do it. Right. And I continued to tell Naya. I asked her, was like, well, I feel like, yes, embrace, but embrace what? Like, what goes with embrace?
Right.
And it's like, embrace grace, the grace, with grace, embrace with grace. And so I feel like we're embracing who we are in this very moment.
Nice.
Everything that we are. And I think that's when I told you, I was like, I want this to be genuine. I want this to be like, they get to see who we are.
Right.
Truly, like how you said, not with the mask, just who we are.
Yeah.
And I want it to be that for everybody else.
I think that's like a really, really good example for a lot of people too, because there's a lot of people who, you know, maybe just afraid to be who they are. You know what I mean? So they see this, they're gonna embrace themselves too. So yeah, that's really, really dope. Nice. I like it. Let me see what else we got.
But it's beautiful how it all came together. It could be as a joke. You could start something new as a joke, as, you know, starting off going to New York and seeing what sparks, what inspires you. Like, it could really just start as something that small, and it on its own. You just gotta, that vision will come to life.
Very true. It blossoms up, and that's where we're at right now.
Yes. We're embracing the moment. We're embracing to be on a camera, because that is even difficult.
Yeah, every moment too.
Yes. I've been trying to even record myself talking a little bit more on my phone, and it definitely helps like get out of your comfort zone.
I never do that. I literally never record I'll record videos like selfies, but I hate hearing myself.
Yeah, I can't hear my
honestly,
voice either.
This has really helped me. Like, I don't even cringe to my voice. Like, I'm fine. I
was gonna say, never say never. And it's true. Like, never say never.
Honestly.
That's a Justin Bieber song, by the way, guys.
I'm like, you better. So I have another question. How do you balance discussing faith while also reaching a diverse audience?
I love this question. This is a great question.
Can you repeat it again?
How do you balance discussing faith while also reaching a diverse audience? So how do you balance that with yourselves while still talking to your audience?
I will never put something on anybody. It's not a religion. I'm not putting anything on anybody. I'm just embracing who I am.
Right.
This is who I am. This is how I walk in any room.
Right.
It's just me being me. This is how I live my life. It's a lifestyle. It's who I am. And so I'm embracing just that. Nice. I will never try to make somebody feel anything less. Like, come as you are. You're accepted. You're loved, regardless of what you may feel. I don't ever try to make somebody ever feel uncomfortable. Right. You can cuss a storm in front of me, and I'm never gonna tell you stop that. Or you could be drunk in front of my face, and I'm never gonna want to make you feel any less than. Like, come as you are. You are loved. You're accepted. Who you are, that's who you are. Yeah. And I don't think I even tried to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I'm just showing you this is me, and like my faith comes with me because it's where it's brought me to. If you would have seen where I was at a good 8 years ago, you would not even recognize who I am at this very moment, because that Clarissa was so depressed. That Clarissa was so done with life. But now I see how faith it opens doors that no man can shut.
Yeah. Deep.
And so I feel like yeah, it's just part of me. It's the faith comes with Clarissa.
That's deep. Yeah.
I don't even try. Like it's just, and I'm gonna embrace just that.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that's really good. Dang, that was good. I'm like, that was good. You took the words right out of my mouth too. But no, like, just like having that childlike faith, you know, like sometimes you're like, how am I gonna give people the advice when I'm like so broken on the inside, or I'm like still going through things myself? But like I've learned, and I never knew this, like before I started going to church, like I was always like, I can't pray for that person, like I'm not even okay. But
oh my gosh, yes.
Like God literally gives you that authority. Like he tells little James, like, just because you have a limp or you're not healed, like, that doesn't mean you can't go and heal others.
Deep.
And so that's where I learned, like, it's your faith that really unlocks the door.
But how do you do this for somebody who doesn't have the faith when it's a very diverse thing? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what if somebody walked in the room and they don't have that faith? How do you balance that?
I just say by sharing my testimony. You know, that itself, if people knew who I was, like, that itself speaks volumes.
Our own story is what helps people understand what our faith is like, you know? And honestly, I am still working on that. I'm still working on finding not my faith, but like reconnecting with God, you know? And I did share that a little bit on the first episode. But I feel like God moves in my life so unexpectedly and so on point that just shows me that I shouldn't struggle with any faith, with my faith.
Right.
I shouldn't struggle at all because I've seen it.
Right.
So what other proof do I need? You know?
Deep.
And I feel like by doing that in a diverse community, it just shines on you. You know what I mean? You project what you feel. You project who you are, and people like see that even when you don't even talk to them. You know what I mean? And by seeing us project the way that we do, I'm sure they're gonna be like, I want that. I want what they have.
Right.
You know?
That's like a perfect way of leading by example. And I think when being your real self, it lets people know that, they can have faults, they can have a dark side, they can have these mistakes that they have made. And that just goes back to where, accepting yourself, forgiving yourself, like, we did not know any better. We didn't have anyone at that moment to tell us what's up. We probably did, but the frequency level that we were at that moment, we weren't trying to hear nothing. Exactly. You know what I mean? So now we're here. It's like when you read that book for the first time, it's like your mind wasn't ready for it yet.
It wasn't.
Then you picked it up again. It's like, oh, damn, what the hell? You know what I mean? So
it took you losing that book for me to get back to it.
Yeah, I was like, man, where's my book, bro?
That was a really good question, because it gets you thinking, like, oh wow, like my faith, and like sometimes I feel like I was saying, like, I don't even try to like portray my faith or be holy, because it's not like, oh, everything's just so perfect, like, no. But if it already shines, let it be shine
through.
Deep.
I feel like I don't know why this story just came to my heart, Carmen. I feel like you should share. I was just thinking of like that Bible study where we were talking about a little bit of our faith, and Carmen said it jokingly around, God gives me a car. She just got a car gifted to her. And that right there is faith. That's not faith.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the blow me away.
Like
really,
that,
really
like
dope.
that is already shining through. And she didn't even have to try. You don't even have to try. Like, that's just part of, like, your walk as you're going day to day.
And you know what? Like, that Bible study was one that I attended after not going to Bible study for a long time. I haven't been to church. I haven't done much about it, you know. And I went to that Bible study, and I remember we were talking about praying for something impossible. Not impossible, but you think that would be impossible. That's out of the norm, you know. And, well, obviously I wrecked my vehicle last year, and I just haven't gotten a new one. And there's just been a lot of setbacks to me being able to get a vehicle. You know, my life has changed drastically in the past year and a half. And you know, we were talking about praying for something that we would really like, we would really want, we would want God to give us. And I was thinking a house, I was thinking this, I was thinking that. I'm like, let me start from the basics. Like send somebody to give me a vehicle. You know, I don't even care if it's luxurious. I don't even care anything about it, you know, as long as it works and it won't give me any type of problems.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I was doubting it, but I genuinely didn't think that it was going to happen. You know, I genuinely didn't think I deserved it in a way. And I think shortly after it was Thanksgiving and I was with my family, and my uncle had asked me if I still had a vehicle, if I had a vehicle, and I was like, no. He's like, okay. He's like, I want you to go pick up my car. He's like, it's yours. And I was like, nah. I was like, He's like, yeah, it's yours.
That's deep. That's deep. God be working, bro. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's real beautiful.
It's working. And I was so emotional. I've been so emotional since then. I barely got it, and it's perfect. It's literally in perfect conditions. It's a little 2000 whip, but like it's beautiful. It's literally like new in the inside. Like, it's well taken care of. New tires. Everything is good.
That's dope.
And I'm just so grateful.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Thank you, Lord.
Love it. Love it.
Celebrate this moment with you, Carmen, because that's a blessing.
Yes.
Let's see what other questions I got for y'all. Are there any particular guests you're hoping to have on the show? You know, because of course, I am your first guest. For future episodes, based on what Embrace Grace is, who you guys, you know what I mean, see in the community, what they've done, even outside the community. Maybe somebody inspires y'all that lives in Wisconsin or Florida, or, you know what I mean, maybe they live in Canada or something. You know what I mean? Who would y'all like to see on this?
I think that's like an audience question too. Like, who do y'all want us to bring? Who do y'all think would be good to have on here that would catch everyone's attention? Which is not mainly about attention, but it's a background where they came from.
Right.
That's deep.
Right. Yeah, that's a good one too. So let's ask the audience then. Who do y'all want to see on Embrace Grace that you just know, you know, maybe you've been following them with the community for a while, or seeing them just do certain things, and, you know, and it's true. Oh, you know, you never know. You know, we could reach out to them, see what's up, and might get someone on here.
I would definitely say somebody like another salon. Either another salon or other girls with the same kind of in the beauty industry.
Mm-hmm.
So they can share their point of view of how they're doing it or how they're like handling life, you know?
Right. Okay, that'd be a good one too. I like that.
You know who I would like just came up to my mind? Because I've seen her business be so successful throughout all these years. Like, I grew up shopping there. I grew up wanting to work there. Is Misty from El Cicerone. Like, I want to know like her the beginning of where she started.
That'd be good.
So that's a good one.
So you, Misty, if you're watching this, if you're not, somebody knows Misty,
Yes.
send it her way. If not, then I guess we got to reach out to Misty.
Yeah. She knows Yolanda. She knows she shops. She lives there.
So that'd be good, and that's like totally reachable too. You know, we're not trying to get somebody from England yet, but that'd be dope. We
Hey,
can get
God
someone
will
from
make
England.
the impossible possible,
Yeah.
just like He did for Carmen.
Yeah,
Literally.
honestly, that's a beautiful
Not
story
doubting
too.
it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think I want to show my gratitude to Fob for like also seeing the vision. Because this is a big deal. Like it really is. And you taking the time for this, man, that's the biggest part. I think I'm forever going to remember just the beginning, going even on a little TikTok live just for you to share everything, share your thoughts, share your time. Time is valuable, and for you to do this today, I'm so grateful. I know the girls are so grateful. We're very, very grateful, Bob.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate the kind words too.
So that brings me to mind. How did you start doing this? Like, are you self-taught? Did you go to school for it? All the technical, all the microphone, all the all of that good stuff. How did you?
Yeah, honestly, it's all self-taught. I didn't go to school. At the time, I don't think here now, they have, I think, a media class now. They have audio class, but at the time when I first started, they didn't have any of that, and I think I had to like leave town to actually go do that. I was gonna go to Santa Fe to do a recording studio, and I was gonna learn how to mix and master music and stuff like that, but that didn't go through. So basically everything is trial and error, just learning. And at the time I would look up on YouTube, how do I do this, and there was nothing on YouTube. And this is the perfect example of the conveyor belt, bro, because I had a buddy tell me, you need to start making content explaining how you do certain effects and graphics and how you edit this and that. It sat with me, and I'm like, I ain't trying to do all that. Nowadays, all you see is people doing that. These people blew up, millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views, because the next person needs somebody to teach them how to edit a video, make a music video. How do I do this? How do I make a cinematic movie with my iPhone? How do I, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that. And I let that slip right under me. That could have been my gateway of like getting some type of revenue from YouTube by being the first one to do it, because there was nothing out there. And years passed by, I started seeing a couple artists doing certain things, and then, you know what I mean? Now I was just flooded with everybody. Mm-hmm. So now if I was to do it, I mean, I could still be me, but I would just have to be presented differently, you know? So
yeah, it's a big factor in our lives right now.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, just trial and error, try new things. Like I said, I was smoking a lot for many years. I did drink a lot too, but smoking was the bigger effect on me, and that just kept me in a hole. But now that I kind of kicked that to the side, and I'm just embracing everything, do what I gotta do.
Game time.
Embracing grace.
Embracing it, embracing grace.
Embracing.
Yeah.
It's good. Like, who would have ever known like that all of this was gonna lead you to bigger and greater things just from all the trial and error?
Yeah.
Like, it all had a purpose, a huge purpose.
And you haven't given up, which is the best thing you could have done.
There's been many times where I wanted to.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't either. And even nowadays, like, man, there'll be times I'll be in my room thinking I'm wasting my time, wasting my life because I don't have a regular job. You know what I mean? And this is my job. Now I do, I have a bunch of side things that I do. You know what I mean? So it takes up more time, but it's bringing in revenue too, because nowadays it is hard to keep constant flow of income because everybody's picking up a camera now. Oh, yeah. But I would be in my room and I ain't gonna lie, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just start crying, bro.
Beat yourself up.
Yeah, you beat yourself up because you feel like you're not doing it.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
you feel like you're not moving from the same spot.
Yeah, I feel stuck.
But just imagine, like, okay, because I feel it, like, when this really takes off, not just Embrace Grace, but others, like, you're going to get people they're going to be asking you to teach them how to even record a video, how to have a certain angle. Like, That's gonna be the beauty of it, you know.
That is gonna be beautiful. Honestly, yeah.
And it comes. It's kind of like you don't have to work for it. It comes to you. Even when I'm like in my zone,
Right.
it's so awesome because I went to school to be a teacher, and then now the esthetician, and I'm brought them together, and I'm able to teach what I love the most. Like, just imagine what you can do with teaching somebody else out there. Like, that's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be so awesome.
Man. It will be beautiful.
So yeah, those moments when you are in your room and you're questioning everything and like, what is this going to, like, what is it bringing me? I promise you, there is something greater on the way.
That's love.
Yeah,
I appreciate that a lot.
I want to share something with you guys really quick. Like, never forget that where you're at now is what you used to pray for.
Yeah.
So
That's
like,
absolutely true.
for me too, like I do question myself and like my career a lot. Like, man, like, do I really want to do this? Like, but in our reality, like 2-3 years from today, like we weren't even close to being like where we are now.
Right.
So
That's true.
we literally prayed for where we're living, like right now, what we're living right now. Like me, I would always pray to be just clear-minded, sober-minded, and like I'm living it. I'm literally doing that with ease now, and it's so good.
That's beautiful.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's whenever we have to appreciate it. And then I started going to therapy, okay, because there's just, you know what I mean. I feel like majority of people do need it. You know what I mean? Because we got to know ourselves. Why do we get angry at this? Why do I get triggered at this? Why do I have anxiety with this? A lot of stuff has to come from our childhood, how we grew up, you know. So one thing that she told me is that pat yourself on the back, like let yourself know, you know what I mean. Like, you, bro, look where you're at, look what you're doing. Pat yourself on the back, you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you tell your friend, bro, dope. I seen your growth. I seen how far you went. I seen your struggles. I seen you crying in your room alone in the dark because you didn't know what the hell what to do type shit. You know what I mean? But look where you're at. Pat yourself on the back, man. Be nice to yourself. Like, yo, you know what I mean? You straight. You got this.
Yeah.
You know, so that's deep.
I'm like, go ahead and give your neighbor a tap on the back. Getting tips from my pastor. He be telling us, turn to your neighbor and tell him amen.
Nah, but that's deep, though.
That's so good that you're doing therapy. I've heard of it. I think this could be a whole other podcast, but like, in the Mexican culture, it's kind of like you don't talk about your feelings. Right. You don't talk about depression isn't real to them. Right. And so we have to just like swallow all that up and like continue to keep going. So I know that therapy is great for all of that. Mm-hmm. I have yet to want to do something in that area. But I know that I need to learn how to like bring those feelings out. And it takes a lot, and it's great. Thank you for sharing that with us, because it is that like how, just even giving yourself that grace of like, you're doing good.
Yeah, be there for yourself.
And
that could be so hard though.
It says a lot about you as a person as well. Accepting that you need help is the first step. Big time.
Because we don't want help. Mm-hmm. And that was one of my main problems for many, many years. And that's why I was keeping myself in a box. Yeah, a bubble. I wasn't accepting any help. And just this year, it's been 2 years. I think, it's been 2 years in January where I started letting God take the wheel. And I started accepting help around me, people who do want to help, people who want to genuinely see me do better, be great. And, they offer you help. It sat with me, but it's saying, somebody offering you help or offering you something that you need, don't block your blessings. Mm-hmm. You're accepting that blessing, and then you just took that blessing and you're giving them an open lane to receive a blessing later. So don't block that blessing because you're blocking them from having a blessing later. So accept the help. You know what I mean? Especially if it's genuine. Of course, we don't want help from people who will throw it in our face, who, are moving with kind of a different heart to it. But I think that goes with like, the more you know yourself, the easier it is to spot it. Like, well, I don't need that help right now. It's fine, thank you. But as somebody who genuinely wants to see you do better, take the help, bro. Yeah. It's like that one movie for Pursuit of Happiness when Will Smith's son was talking about that dude was drowning in the ocean. And he said, a boat came by. Hey, you need help? And he was like, nah, I'm waiting for God to help me. All right, took off. Another boat came. Hey, you need help? Nah, I'm waiting for God. God's going to help me. Okay. Another boat came, same thing. He finally died. He asked God, God, how come you didn't send me help? I sent you 3 boats, dude. Like, come on, bro. That was the help. That was the help you needed. I sent you 3 boats and you denied the boats. That's on you. You know what I mean? And that's deep. You know what I mean? So accept the help, bro. Take it.
I'm even taking that in right now because I am very hard on myself. I feel like I have to do everything myself. But even starting this has come so naturally because everyone puts in their part. I'm not feeling the load here, like the heaviness of like I got to do this all by myself. I got to take care of myself. No, everyone's like, hey, I got this. Yeah, I showed up and everything was ready to go. Like that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to be helped.
Yeah, straight to it.
It's
yeah.
a blessing. Like you can just even be yourself in that moment. You don't feel the burden. You don't feel a burden of like having to figure it out on your own.
Deep.
It's good.
Well, first I want to thank y'all guys for having me on. You know, especially being part of the first episode. I feel like we had a really, really good talk. You know, we got deep on some stuff. Deep enough to where people could just, you know, take the info and dissect it however they want. So thank y'all again. Appreciate y'all.
Of course. This wouldn't be possible without you, Bob.
It's love.
Just know that.
It's love.
Thank you for coming with the open heart, an open mind, ready to receive and to give. That's also very, very good. You're very knowledgeable. So thank you, Fav.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate
Thank
you.
Don't forget that you really are part of the team. And as you pat yourself on the back, we pat you on the back too.
I'll
We
pat
all
y'all on
grow
the back,
together.
too. Yeah.
We
got
all do this together.
I got y'all just like y'all got me.
Yes.
We're in this together.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Team on 3.
Hey, I think we did it last.
Embrace grace on 3.
Hey,
1, 2, 3, embrace. Oh, embrace grace.
All right, much love, y'all. Thank y'all again.
Of course.
We'll see you on the next
y'all.
episode.
Bye.
Y'all be sure to tune in, y'all.